Hello, welcome to another episode of Pub Football with Miles and Jimmy. Sorry we missed the end of last week. That's my fault. I was very ill, so I couldn't stomach it. I really couldn't.
Disgrace.
I needed
Letting
to
the fans
sleep.
down.
Anyway, we're back. So because we missed one, what we're going to do today, there's been two games. There's been the midweek games last week and the weekend games just been. Apart from the Arsenal game, which is on just about to start against West Ham, we're going to go alphabetical order through the Premier League and sum up their week. Whilst I drink from my beer advent calendar for the 9th of December, a Siren Yulu Session Pale Ale. Ad done. Okay, right. Starting with Arsenal, who are playing tonight. So, in terms of their week, it's only the loss to at home to Brighton on Thursday night.
It's been a great week so far. It's only going to get worse.
Freddie Ljungberg really hasn't done the business, has he, so far?
No, not really. We're incredibly poor in the week again. Yeah, there's not much positive to say about Arsenal, is there? I'm just going to just get through it, mate. I don't really care.
Right now, Arsenal 11th in the league, 19 points. That puts them 4 above the relegation zone.
4 above relegation. It's embarrassing.
But you're only 5 away from 5th.
Oh, I get that, but you look at it at the moment, and you look at it and you think we're only going one way at the moment.
That's what I did see the headline today. Are Arsenal in a relegation battle? No, I thought no. Then I thought, they drew with Norwich, and Norwich were the best side in the second half. And I thought, well, they just about drew with Southampton, who were down on the bottom as well, and they pinched the last minute equaliser. Both those teams are in the relegation fight. And then they've lost at home to Brighton, who are going to be there or thereabouts down the bottom in the relegation fight. So then when you think about those three results off the back of each other, you think, well, actually, possibly, maybe they... No, but they're too good, surely.
Well, we've got some incredibly difficult fixtures coming up, by the way. We've got City, Chelsea, United... I think even Liverpool on the horizon. Yeah, agreed. I think we need to actually get someone in now.
Not Ljungberg?
No, he's not good enough for it. He's just he's been put in a really bad position.
It's always a shame when you see Club Legend fail. I don't understand why we aren't going
for Allegri. He's there. Just go and get him.
You might have tried. He might not want to. He's on sabbatical. He's got his feet up.
Waiting for that.
He's enjoying time with his wife. His wife, you're not going back to the end of the season.
Waiting for that big job at West Ham, isn't he?
You might have Ljungberg for the rest of the season.
Yeah, I hope he does.
Imagine if Arsenal went down.
I see Unai Emery's been linked with Everton today.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that a bit later on.
We're not going to get relegated. We are just going to have a really mediocre season. We're playing tonight. We're going to lose tonight. I can already tell you this. Yeah, it's really bleak at the moment, and we've just got to grin and bear it. It's really poor. It's not going to get any better. He's dropped Lacazette tonight. He's going to be fuming. Wow. Martinelli's starting up front. Fair play.
With Aubameyang.
One side.
One thing we haven't spoken about. Aubameyang going to the toilet with 3 minutes left. He's your club captain, club captain, gone to the toilet with 3 minutes to go when you're trailing by a goal.
Well, nature's calling, mate. You've got to go.
No, you can hold it for 3 minutes if you're the club captain of professional footballer. Gary Lineker it if you have to.
Yeah, agreed. It was a bit of a weird one, but it just summed up the entire performance, didn't it? It's just rubbish at the moment. So.
Right, quickly moving on to a team that lost twice over the last week. Aston Villa. First, they lost away at Stamford Bridge 2-1 to Chelsea, and then they went into the weekend losing at home 4-1 to a rampant Leicester City. Yeah. Yesterday, that game was. Aston Villa, they're pretty much doing how we expected them to do at the moment. They're one place above the relegation zone on goal difference. Maybe we thought they'd do a little bit better, but they're not the easiest games for the week.
No, I watched the game yesterday and I actually didn't think they were that poor.
Grealish is still playing well.
Yeah, Grealish is playing really well. They just came up against a very good side against Leicester, and I assume it's probably very similar in the week. I didn't see the game itself.
Tammy Abraham scored and didn't celebrate, I know that.
Yeah, 2 difficult games. They'll bounce back probably next week when they play Norwich or whoever, and they're absolutely fine. They look really good actually, Villa,
but
got to say.
They need more points, 11 points to Southampton.
Yeah, they are just above it, but there's enough to make you think, especially with Grealish in form, they're going to be fine. Yeah.
Going on to Bournemouth, bad week for a team.
Where are Bournemouth in the league?
Bournemouth are 15th, 1 point above the relegation zone. So they started this cycle of fixtures on Tuesday with a 1-0 loss away at Crystal Palace. A 10-man Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace had someone sent off in the first 20 minutes. Yeah. And it was 0-0 at the time, and Palace went on to win the game. Bournemouth then went into this weekend to a game against Liverpool and they would a home. But a home loss against Liverpool. It's not good enough.
Yeah, it's the first time you look at Howe's...
2 home losses.
Yeah, I think they've lost 5 on the bounce, I think. It's the first time you look at Howe's tenure and suddenly go, oh, he's in a bit of trouble here.
One of the things that was pointed out to me
Yeah.
about Eddie Howe and Bournemouth. Don't get me wrong, he's done a superb job there.
He's gone too far now.
No, there's a couple of players that have left and are doing really well. Tyrone Mings.
Yeah.
Nathan Ake went off injured. Who would you want to replace him at this point? Tyrone Mings, left-footed, left-sided centre-half.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
The other one is Lee's Mousse.
Yeah.
Never got a shot, while Dominic Solanke's playing every week.
Yeah,
and he's gone to Sheffield United and he's banging them in.
Yeah, you just feel like it's a bit like Pep Guardiola. It feels like it's the end of a cycle. And Howe needs to go and prove himself. He can stay at Bournemouth for years on end and he's going to be a god there. They're not going to sack him.
They could go down.
They could go down, agreed. And I think he should go for Everton job. I think he'd be great there. He's taken them as far as he can. And they're going to lose players now. Ake's now injured.
Ake's going to go somewhere bigger.
I think Callum Wilson went off injured during the weekend. They're going to be struggling.
Both of them went off against Liverpool.
And I would go, do you know what? Give me till January. I'll take the Everton job on. And I'll give it a right good go.
Bournemouth could go down because Callum Wilson, now Chelsea's transfer ban has been lifted, linked with Chelsea. Yep. Nathan Ake's linked with everyone under the sun. It's getting to that age now, Ake. What is he going to be? 20? He's 26-ish.
Ake won't go in January. I think he's going to be injured for at least 6 weeks.
But he'll go. He can still go in January. If you're only a couple of weeks away from fitness, you can still go. But end of the season, I can't see him still being a Bournemouth player. He is Champions League quality.
Of course he could fit in United and Arsenal or Spurs. He could fit in any of those teams.
Yeah.
Even City, to be fair.
Onto a team who've had a relatively good week is Brighton. Winning away at Arsenal on Thursday is a huge result. And then a home draw in a great first half of football yesterday against Wolves.
It was a very good game yesterday, I would say.
It's been a good week and it's been a good season for Brighton. Again, we're looking at the league table, 12th, 19 points. That puts them 4 above the relegation zone. A team that we all sort of had there or thereabouts picked to be one of the teams destined to go down. Potter's done a great job. 7-year contract's a bit interesting.
I still slightly fear for them. I think they will have an absolute shocker at some point this season. But at the moment, they're doing what they need to do.
They're getting enough
Even
points.
Morpie's scoring. Yeah. Morpie's never going to score goals for years.
For a team like Brighton to go to 2 games, one away at the Emirates, a midweek and a weekend game, and to get 4 points.
To be fair, against 2 very good sides. One very good side.
Well, Wolves are very good.
Yeah, exactly. One very good side. And mediocre load of crap at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fair play to them. They're doing what they need to do. They're looking all right at the moment, which fair play to them.
And when you've got a striker who seems to be playing well, like Neil Maupay, it really helps. He's found his feet now in the Premier League. He scored in his first game, then sort of had a little bit of a feeling in period.
Lucky, yes, I've got to say, I thought Wolves were going to win it. They were miles better throughout.
Well, I disagree. I felt like to me, it seemed like a bit of a stalemate. Wolves maybe had a bit more of the ball, but there weren't clear-cut chances.
I felt Wolves could have gone up another gear, and they just didn't, which was a bit of a pain because they could have. But yeah, no, fair play to them. Fair play. They're doing really well, Brighton.
Team's had a bad week is Burnley. 2 heavy losses. 2 more heavy losses. Burnley seemed
9 goals conceded in 1 week. It's terrible.
Burnley seemed to be easier to score against. The one thing about Burnley was always it was a hard win.
Yeah.
It's a really hard win. Their results this week was Manchester City first, losing 4-1 at home.
Yeah. Then
they travelled to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium and got blown away by Spurs 5-0.
To be fair, you expect them to get no points this week, but it's the manner of defeat.
No, exactly. Burnley's a 1-0, 2-1 close squeaky win, not thrashings.
No, it's their season, isn't it? They get absolutely hammered, but then they'll go and win 2 on the bounce, so you suddenly go, they're fine. Yeah. And they're going to be like this all season, I think. They're fine.
Yeah, well, they're doing well in the league, but they have conceded a lot more goals. They are in 13th now on 18 points, but again, it's only 3 points above the relegation zone.
Which is crazy, because you think they've done really well this season.
They were up in 6th 2 weeks ago.
They're still fine. But
this season is so odd, the league. It's bouncing around. Teams are just like that.
You look at the league and there are probably 6 or 7 teams you go, do you know what? If they get on a run where it just goes completely wrong,
they are
anyone
from
trouble.
Palace down, really.
Sheffield United
has the same amount of points as Crystal Palace. It's absolutely ridiculous. Moving on from Burnley, who did have a bad week, but like you said, they'll probably be fine. It's Chelsea, who had a mixed week. Winning at home against Aston Villa 2-1 was a good start on Wednesday. On the weekend, though, new manager bounced from Everton. 3-1 flattered Everton massively at Goodison Park with Duncan Ferguson in charge. Chelsea dominated that game on Saturday. Yeah. Absolutely dominated. Just didn't really get enough shots off and on target.
Yeah, I didn't see the game in the weekend, but this is kind of what I expected Chelsea to do this year anyway, to be very inconsistent. would win games here and there, might get an absolute hiding somewhere. It probably wasn't a hiding, but
No,
it's a result that at the start of the year I'm not surprised by. I think with the lift of the transfer embargo in January, it'd be interesting what he does.
Yeah, this is what I want to talk about. They're linked with Jadon Sancho. They're linked with Ben
Chilwell's a good one.
They're linked with Callum Wilson. Callum Wilson is a good player to bring in.
I think Zaha's another one they might go there.
I just look at them and I just think, why are they bringing in another winger? You've got Hudson-Odoi. No. Willian's having a very good season. Then you've got Hudson-Odoi and Christian Pulisic. Mason Mount is playing off the left sometimes when they want to bring the three of Kante, Kovacic and Jorginho. It's not a position they need. It's really not. Like, second, as another striker, because I can't see Batshuayi and Giroud both staying. Callum Wilson would be perfect because he'd push Abraham.
Yeah.
He'd really push because he pushed to start, Callum Wilson. Left back is a necessity, so Chilwell would be a good signing. But
I get that.
I don't know why they linked with Sancho. I don't know with Zaha.
If Sancho was on the market for like 70 mil, I'd be going all out.
They can't get all those players though. And he's not the priority.
No, I agree. But in the long run, if you could get him, I'll go and get him.
But if you got to choose, you choose what the necessity is.
Oh, of course. But you look at it at the moment and go, I wouldn't buy anyone.
I'd buy left back.
I'd take Alonso and Emerson to the end of the year.
But it depends who you sell up front as well, because I can't see Giroud being at Chelsea after January.
I can imagine he's sulking quite a lot because he's French. To be fair, Chelsea are going to be fine no matter what they do. He's a pretty boy.
Slight racism.
So
fantastic.
Yeah, I can imagine he's quite temperamental. That'll be fun.
Okay, on to Crystal Palace.
We hate Palace.
We really hate Palace.
I cannot stand
Palace.
They keep winning.
I keep saying that they keep winning. They beat Bournemouth 1-0 at the Vitality. Is it Vitality? Yes, at the Vitality on Tuesday. And then they went into the weekend and they drew away at Watford in the...
They won at home on Tuesday, weren't they?
No, it was away. I got that. I put that the wrong way around. I put it the wrong way around. It was away. It was at Bournemouth.
No, it wasn't. It was at Palace.
Was it?
100% it was at Palace.
It was at Bournemouth.
You've written it down and you're still getting it
I wrote it down wrong.
No, 100% it was at Palace.
Well, they lost
a home game.
Well, okay.
Because 100%. 100%.
Okay. Anyway, the second game was a 0-0 draw against Watford in one of the worst games of the season.
Oh, classic.
Dead set last on Match of the Day. Like the most last on Match of the Day game ever. It was woeful.
It's just, again, 4 points in a week. They're just doing what they need to do, and it's so irritating because they're rubbish.
It's really, really annoying. Because they're going to stay up.
Oh, they are. They're how far up?
9th, 22 points. So that puts them 7 points clear of relegation. Puts them 2 points off 5th.
I reckon. What do they need? Maybe 15 more points. They'll be there. They'll stay in the league.
Oh, well, they can. The way the league's going this season, they'll probably end
5 wins.
Yeah. They're going to end up with 50 odd points.
Oh God! Fair play to Hodgson. He's doing miracles.
Yeah, I like Roy Hodgson. I hate Palace.
Yeah.
They can't score. They've got no good striker.
No, and they're doing what they need to do. I'd love to see a massive drop and them absolutely dive, but they're not going to.
I can see them getting 15 points out of 15 draws.
Yeah, and fair play to them.
Just 0-0s.
Yeah, I hate Palace. Just move on.
They're just annoying, aren't they?
Yeah.
Right, moving on to Everton. Big week for Everton. So they lost, they got thrashed in the Merseyside derby on, Wednesday, away at Anfield, 5-2.
Yeah.
Liverpool ran through them, scored 2, but still got rid of Marco Silva. That was the end for Marco Silva.
Yeah.
Big Dunc got brought in, Duncan Ferguson. Wonderful, wonderful attire. Wearing a suit with a sweatband underneath it was brilliant. An Everton club sweatband. Looked like he wanted to punch someone because it's Duncan Ferguson, but they got the new manager bounced. They were all... And tactically, they got it right. He played 4-4-2.
Oh, so classic.
He played Sigurdsson in next to Schneiderlin, and both of them had very, very strong games in the centre midfield. He played Richarlison up with Calvert-Lewin. Both of them had strong games. Richarlison opened the scoring with a classic Duncan Ferguson header. And Calvert-Lewin scored twice. A guy can't finish, scored twice. It was incredible. And then when he needed to, he brought in Tom Davies for Richarlison, shored up the midfield to put a 3 in. Tactically, it was very clever. And now they're being linked with Unai Emery, who tactically is very naive. So
interesting, isn't it?
It's not the right move. They've made contact, apparently. Based on that game, I'd give Duncan Ferguson another 2 or 3 audition games.
There's no rush. There's no rush to hire someone else when you've got someone who knows the club His passion was absolutely wonderful.
Yeah, running down the touchline, Mourinho-esque.
And it's classic for a new manager to take the lead after 5 minutes. It's what you need as a new manager, isn't it? And they pressed, they scored, and it was great. Yeah. And fair play to him. And I hope he keeps it going.
The other thing is, you get Unai Emery in, a manager who apparently lost a dressing room where they were taking the mickey of him. He was so unrespected.
I'd be absolutely shocked.
So you're losing a game, you have to go back into the changing room, you have Unai Emery there with his broken English, who people giggle at when he talks. Or you lose a game and you've got Duncan Ferguson punching a hole in a wall. Like, you're gonna play that extra 10% just so you're not going to get on the end of Duncan Ferguson's wrath.
Weird Everton, isn't it? Because there's a lot of voices upstairs. You've got Bill Kenwright, you've got Mashiri, you've got Brands. There's 3 voices there going, who the hell should we have in next? And they mentioned Pereira last week. He's completely disappeared off the radar. Yeah. Unai Emery's a terrible shout. He could barely keep a control of Arsenal. He's going to be absolutely horrific at Everton. Where'd you go? I'd give Ferguson probably till January and then go, right, where are we?
Yeah, but the problem is with giving someone till January, then thinking, right, where are we, is that's the transfer window. So I would give Ferguson another 3 games.
But then that's the thing, it takes you to nearly January.
It does. But then I'd try and, if you're going to get someone else in, get them in by January. Give them at least a week to have a look at the players they got. Yeah. And then so they can
Don't get me wrong, Ferguson's not a manager. But
we don't know that. He could be great at the end of the season.
Not, is he? I think...
We don't know that. He's been working with the side.
I think he'd probably... He would hold his hands up and go, I'm a coach. And he would do. But he's just doing a job because he loves that club and he's doing a very good job. Yeah. And we'll see what happens.
Well, they were in the relegation zone going into the weekend. They're now 2 points and 2 places clear.
Shocking games coming up, so
they
really will be in trouble.
It's a big fixture list for them. Okay, I'm
going to say right now before you, if Unai Emery goes there, they'll be relegated, 100%.
Wow.
Yeah, 100%.
You're still not over it, are you?
No, not even that. I just don't think he's going to do anything to change it.
Right. From Everton, on to Leicester City. Another good week. Another very good week. Comfortable 2-0 win over Watford. Yes, there were some dodgy VAR decisions, penalties. Watford fans really not liking VAR this season. Yeah. And then an absolute annihilation of Aston Villa.
Wonderful.
They are just such a good team. And showing their strength in depth at this point, because now he's brought Iheanacho back in. And Iheanacho's in form and he's scoring goals. And it's showing. And I was talking to a Leicester fan on Love Sport yesterday. And he actually put a very good point. If they lose a centre-back, they can really struggle. But beyond that, they do have a little bit of depth, and especially without European competition. Yeah, they're looking good they're looking good to keep Liverpool on their toes. I'm not going to say title challenge because it looks like Liverpool are too far out. In saying that, this is way too early to call that. They could
Liverpool could still collapse, and they're going to get nervous towards the end of the season. They are.
However, if they can keep them on their toes until March, Liverpool could. That's when Liverpool could get nervous.
Oh, 100%. They are going to get nervous, Liverpool. Even if they're 15 points clear, they're still going to have games where you go.
If Leicester can stay within 10 points to March, it could all be on.
I love watching Leicester. There's a swagger about Leicester, which I absolutely love. You knew yesterday, even when Villa came back into it, they're going to win it. Yeah. They are just going to win the game. They just got up another gear, and they were just brilliant.
They got the best fullbacks besides Liverpool.
Midfield was great. Tillemans was great.
Vardy, eight goals in a row.
Nearly missed. Fair play.
The only other player to do that twice is Van Nistelrooy, scoring 8 games in a row. Vardy has a record for 11.
Have you seen this year? The 11th game was against Liverpool,
which would be great.
Which would be absolutely fantastic.
Leicester also now have, with 8 wins on the bounce, their most ever consecutive wins in a top flight season ever. Premier League, Division 1, ever. Including the season 1.
I've got to say, I absolutely love watching Leicester play.
They're my favourite team.
I love the club. I think they're so well run. I love the fans. They're so passionate.
The thing about the fans that I like the most is there's no sense of entitlement.
No,
we talk about Arsenal fans a lot in the news this week about how Brighton players, I think it was Lewis Dunk, came out and said, we knew that if we could get something in them, 100%. The fans will turn and then the players will play badly. Yeah. Arsenal fans have entitlement. West Ham fans seem to always have entitlement. Newcastle fans have entitlement. There's a lot of fans, Man United fans, sort of earn it with 20 Premier Leagues.
Yeah, of course.
But there's a lot of fans that have this sense of entitlement that they should be at the top of the league. Leicester fans, And we interviewed one again on Love Sport. It was just like, we're just happy to be there.
They just embrace it, don't they?
It's great. And they won the league. Did they expect to be in the title race next season? No, they did not. They were absent. They didn't kick up a massive fuss when they had a bit of a shaky start.
Yeah,
they had the Champions League quarterfinals. Yeah, it wasn't great under Claude Puel, but there was still not this ridiculous venom that you get at other clubs. Now they're back towards the top. And the fans are just happy and they're just loving the ride. They're still loving just being in the Premier League.
I think if you speak to Leicester fans, I think even now they'd say we'll probably still won't finish in the top 4. But that's great because
they're just happy to be in
They are embracing the fact their club is absolutely brilliant.
They're just happy being in the conversation.
And Brendan Rodgers should never leave Leicester.
No. Well, he's just signed a new contract. He's not coming to Arsenal. Which is
no,
great.
agreed. He shouldn't go. He should come to Arsenal. You know, a club that's in better condition at the moment. So fair play.
2 more wins for Liverpool and 2 bigger wins. Not quite as squeaky. 5-2 win over Everton, followed by 3-0 win away at Bournemouth. It's just looking great.
Good rotation from Liverpool as well, especially the Merseyside derby. A lot of changes, and they still played absolutely.
Yeah, they took the mickey of Everton a little bit, didn't they?
Yeah, you looked at the lineup and went, "Oh, Everton might nick something here," and they absolutely destroyed them.
Mane killed Everton off, and then Mane was rested for the trip to Vitality.
Yeah, agreed.
Perfect. Everything's working really well. They're now. It's ridiculous. They are 8 points clear at the top of the league from Leicester. They are 14 points clear of Man City. It is looking like Liverpool's season. It really is.
It is, yeah. I still think there might be a bump somewhere where something might happen and you go, oh my God. And I hope it happens because they can't just sail towards it.
No, I want it to be a bit more exciting.
They will lose soon. It's coming. It is going to come.
It looks like, for me,
they've
it looks
been
like
very
they're starting to play
fortunate in
better.
some games. I agree. The last 2 games were beautifully, but before that, they've been a little bit lucky with sort of 2-1 wins in the last minute. It's what champions do.
Straight to the team that should be chasing them, but
off.
Manchester City. Good start to the week, beating Burnley, 4-1 at Turf Moor.
Good result.
Then they lost the Manchester derby at home, 2-1 at the Etihad. 2 counter-attacking goals from Manchester United. Alleged racism in the crowd. I should say alleged.
Christ.
It was heard. It was heard. Which is just again, what are you doing? What are people thinking? Honestly, one, I don't understand racism. For me, I just don't understand not liking someone because of the way they look. It's all about the way they act, in my opinion. The way they act, and I don't mean about the person they choose to fall in love with. I don't mean anything. I mean that if someone acts like a dick to me, then I think they're a dickhead. That's it. It's nothing to do with sexual orientation, nothing to do with how they look. That's that for me. And to just like, you can have a chant in football. You can have a chant against a player. You can do a bit of booing. You can take the mickey. Not in that way.
I get people get very emotional about the fact it was a huge game. It's a very emotional, high stakes type of game. But
you never cross that line.
It doesn't mean you racially abuse someone.
Never cross that line.
Do that.
I mean, look, England were up on their high horse after the Bulgaria game. In Bulgaria, up on our high horse, our players are so good, kick it out, like, this country. And what we've just done is prove that we are no better.
And it wasn't the only kind of incident this week. There was another incident somewhere else. I can't remember where.
Tottenham, 13-year-old boy was Burnley fan was abused Son.
It's just embarrassing. I don't understand what is wrong with people at the moment.
Yeah. Hopefully, with the 13-year-old, he can be educated properly, and he just didn't know what he was doing. However, a fully grown men doing this at Manchester City is absolutely unacceptable. The Burnley fan, hopefully, can be educated. It's completely unacceptable. Back to the football. And Pep Guardiola said that maybe they don't have the team to compete with the top teams in Europe. And I had a Man City fan say a Manchester journalist saying they've not spent the mega bucks because they've not broken a world transfer record or a British transfer record. Their most expensive signing is 60 mil. I just turned around to him and said, yeah, but you paid like 60 or 3 times in the transfer window. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, he just hasn't kind of done anything about the fact companies left and they haven't bought there, and now they're absolutely stuffed playing a defensive midfielder there who's not playing well there.
Yeah, Rodri's not really. It might take him a year to get used to the league, like David Silva did, like a few players do. I had some Manchester City fans say that Fernandinho is better than N'Golo Kante in holding midfield. But Fernandinho is missed in that role.
Of course he is. You're putting your best defensive midfielder in a position he's not comfortable in,
But
and
again,
you're ruining the balance of the side.
It's another player that needs to be replaced. He's getting up there. He's at 35 now.
For me, this is the end of City's dominance for a while, I think. There's a lot of players in that squad that need to be replaced. You've got Fernandinho, Silva, you've got a couple of others who are getting the other side of 30. You're starting to go, ooh.
Yeah.
And I think it's kind of the end of the cycle. You cannot... To win 2 leagues back-to-back is great. You're not going to win a third,
Man United are the only team to have done.
Yeah, and to play at that intensity for 2 and a bit seasons, it's going to come to an end at some point. And we've got a team who are absolutely flying at the moment, and they're not going to be caught, unfortunately.
I'd be really worried if I was a Man City fan, because it looks like Guardiola's going to leave. Raheem Sterling's stalling on a contract because he wants to find out what's happening with Guardiola. I also don't think the racism incident will help Raheem Sterling, the biggest proponent for the anti-racism campaign, for Kick It Out, for all of these different campaigns. For his own fans to be doing it, that might for him be like, well, Guardiola's leaving. This has happened this season. I think I'm gonna go try and play for Real Madrid. Yeah,
it's going to be interesting because for me, Arteta's not the successor there. He's not there yet,
right?
And it is a rebuilding job in a sense in the summer, especially if Guardiola goes. As you say,
get in?
Yeah, who do you get in? Because you've got to replenish that squad and look at players like Foden and actually give them a chance.
Yeah.
Foden does not play.
Foden should be playing. Yeah, absolutely. On to the other half of Manchester. Very, 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 very good week for Man United. Very good week for Man United. They beat Tottenham 2-1. I honestly didn't think they were fantastic in beating Tottenham.
No.
Tottenham made them look good. It's the worst I've seen Tottenham play for all season pretty much.
Yeah.
Manchester derby, they went out and they beat them. However, Manchester United fans saying Man United are back, Ollie's at the wheel, all of this sort of stuff. For me, Man United are like the Crystal Palace of the top 6. They're suited to playing better teams where they can counter-attack. The pace of James, Martial, Rashford on the counter-attack is frightening.
Yeah.
But these have not been games where they had to break down teams, which is where they've struggled this season.
No, they don't have the kind of
midfield.
Yeah, they don't have the imagination for that, do they? They've got McTominay, Fred, and someone else.
McTominay was wonderful against Tottenham.
I get that. For me, the issue with these 2 results is it puts Solskjaer back in a position where he might take it long term. And to be honest, as a United fan, I would do anything under the sun to get Poch in at the moment. For me, Solskjaer's not the answer, and it's a good week, and they'll get absolute stuff next week.
Because they got to play counter-attacking football.
Yeah,
they won't play counter-attacking football
and
against anyone beyond those.
Yeah,
there's 5 teams. There's not even Arsenal anymore. There are 4 teams they can counter-attack against.
Yeah,
Chelsea, 5 now. Actually, we'll go Leicester as well. Chelsea, Leicester, City, Tottenham, and Liverpool. There are 5 teams they can play on the counter against.
For me, it just now puts the conundrum in people's minds: is Solskjaer the answer long term? For me, no. And that's the biggest issue of him winning as he is at the moment. I don't think he's the answer.
No.
You can find a better manager.
Player playing well, there's Marcus Rashford. Off the left-hand side, which where I think he should play. He's playing very, very well. Scoring goals, penalties are finally going in, looking calm.
Don't get me wrong, that front 4 is great, but there are games where they are terrible, and that's the problem.
Also, shout out for Aaron Wan-Bissaka, the best defensive right-back in the league.
Yeah, and unfortunately,
that's not the modern right-back. Alexander-Arnold will start for England. However, there's an argument that if you're playing against a really, really good winger, so if you're playing against Eden Hazard, if you're playing against
Ronaldo coming up against, agreed.
There's an argument to start Wan-Bissaka in that game because defensively he walks all over Trent Alexander-Arnold.
Yeah, agreed. Alexander-Arnold's basically a winger.
Yeah, he's going to be a holding midfielder, isn't he? Yeah. He's going to play in the centre midfield, probably box to box.
To be fair play to United. I didn't expect them to win both those games. Fair play.
Did very well. Newcastle. What's their week been? Quite good. They beat Sheffield United 2-0, and then they won
Steve
again.
Bruce is doing a sensational job.
Beat Southampton. 1 away, 1 at home. Beat Sheffield United 2-0 on Thursday. Then went in and beat Southampton 2-1 yesterday with a late Federico Fernandez goal.
An issue with the United game, wasn't there? No, it wasn't an issue, but Wilder took it incredibly poorly.
Wilder's taken it wrong. That is not exactly. That goal could still have been given before VAR. Reason why the referee didn't blow his whistle. Before VAR, a linesman can put their flag up,
Yeah.
the referee can overrule that.
Of course. Yeah.
The referee is allowed to overrule it. If the referee thinks it's not actually offside, in saying that, probably wouldn't have because of how close it was, but the referee can overrule that. Shelby ran through and popped it in the corner. One, the Sheffield United defence shouldn't give up. Two, Dean Henderson has made himself look stupid by just standing up there. You know about VAR.
Yeah.
You know it's gonna. You know it. You know if the whistle's not gone, they'll play through and they'll review it. Go out and save it. Even just do it for your confidence to say, how dare you come and kick the ball away? How dare you keep playing? Go and do it for that. But the first thing you get taught when you're playing football is play to the whistle, and they didn't do it. So it's not VAR, it's them.
Just fair play to Newcastle. I'm so pleased for Steve Bruce. Honestly, I'm so pleased for him.
Andy Carroll's playing well as well.
And Almiron will eventually score.
Sam Maximin has now.
Yes,
scored a goal.
Great header as well. Great header.
Right off that very thin headband.
That stupid headband he wears.
I think it's great.
Oh, it's a bit of a trademark now, isn't it? Yeah, fair play. They're doing really well, and I can't fault them at the moment. And I don't know where they are or how far above the relegation.
I'll tell you where they are. They're 10th.
They're above Arsenal by any chance?
Yep. They're 2 points ahead of Arsenal. They're 10th. 22 points. Again, 7 points ahead of the relegation zone. 2 points off Man United in 5th. Newcastle United, team we all had for dead last, out of the league.
Again, 5 more wins, they're up, and they'll be safe. No issue.
And they're actually, league-wise, doing better at this part of the season than they ever really get under Benitez. And yet they still hate Steve Bruce.
And fair play to people like Shelby coming in out of the blue, because obviously they had Longstaff boys in a few weeks ago. Yeah, and he's great. 5 goals this season now. He's great, and he's playing for the cause, which you wouldn't expect him to do, because he's usually useless. Fair play. Doing
very, very well. Okay, after Newcastle, Norwich City. Not a great week. They started with a loss 2-1 against Southampton, and then went into the weekend with another loss.
That's a poor result as well.
Yeah.
Those are the 2 games you look at and go, we need to get something here.
Really bad.
Haven't got anything, which is really annoying because they played really well against Arsenal.
Yeah, they did.
And I think they played well somewhere else. But they're just not quite cut for the Premier League, are they?
No, they're going to go down.
And after that City result, where, like myself, I thought, oh my God, they're great. They've just been...
It puts them 4 points adrift.
Yeah. And I don't know what their run's going to be like now, but those are 2 winnable games. I can imagine they might have a City or United soon.
Do you think they'll end up getting rid of Daniel Farke by the end of the season?
No. He'll stay there.
He'll stay.
I think as long as they stay in touch.
It's the nicest, very most pleasant voice.
So they're
4 points off.
As long as they're in touch, he'll still be there. And there are games where they just need a bit of the rub of the green, but unfortunately it's not happening.
Yeah. Onto a team doing very well, even with the loss against Newcastle, Sheffield United. Losing at home 2-0 against Newcastle. Then they went on to win away against Norwich, as we were just talking about. Sheffield United are one of 2 teams undefeated at home this season. Liverpool and Sheffield United.
Sure it's not away?
Away this season.
Great away.
Yeah, you're right, away this season. Liverpool and Sheffield United, the only 2 teams unbeaten on the road this season. And this stretches back for Sheffield United through half of last season as well. They, quite simply put, are hard to beat on the road. They're just hard to beat. They're hard to beat at home, but you just can't invite Sheffield United into your patch and not expect them to get something out of you.
Did look at the fixture yesterday before it was played, and you looked at him and thought, Sheffield United are going to win that. There's just something about them away from home, and they're organised and they're playing really well.
And another team on 22 points, 8th in the league, 2 points off 5th.
They're fine. Another team, absolutely fine.
Do you not think they'll get found out at some point?
No, I think they're doing really well.
New to the Premier League.
You think they're going to do a bit of a hole and then completely collapse for the second half of the season?
I don't. I think Chris Wilder's too good for that. I think Chris Wilder's better than Phil Brown. He's better than all these other managers that have done it. Ian Holloway at Blackpool. I think he's a better manager. I think they're set up, especially away from home, to just get results. And that's a massive plus, especially at Bramwell. They'll win most of their games at Bramwell. And they're getting goals everywhere as well. And that's something like, it was the fullbacks who scored yesterday. Yeah. Lise Mousse scoring goals. Everyone apart from David McGoldrick, who's now got a record. I think it's 28 shots without a Premier League goal.
To be fair, he had a goal disallowed against Spurs,
which should have counted.
He's been very unlucky, bless him, and I want him to score as well. He's like Almiron.
But he's playing well.
Come on.
But he's playing well.
Yeah,
that's the thing. He's link up, and that's you shouldn't drop him because his link up plays very well. He drops deep, and he's allowing Lise Mousse to score the goals. Lise Mousse, sorry, I should say. Southampton, not the best week for Southampton. A win against Norwich is a good win, followed by a loss away at Newcastle.
That game as well.
They're still in the relegation zone on goal difference from Aston Villa. It's just, I think they're going to go down. I think that the only team they can catch right now is Bournemouth. I just look at it and I think Bournemouth might go below them. I can't see Aston Villa finishing below Southampton. I can even see Watford finishing above Southampton.
I think Norwich are going to finish stone cold last.
Yeah.
And then it's what happens after that. As you said, I think Southampton are going to be a point or two around it all season now.
Yeah.
They're going to be right on that line.
They'll win one every so often. It sort of keeps them in touch.
And it's going to be that defining moment where there might be a game in March where they've got to win it, and they won't.
Yeah.
And I reckon they might just fall short, which is a shame. But
they've had a good run.
They aren't good enough. No. That's the issue.
And they ever since they got rid of Lallana and some of those other players, it's been downhill. They had another good season the next year with Van Dijk at the back.
Yeah.
They're now seeing the problem with selling your best player every season.
And you look at sort of Watford now with Pearson and Shakespeare now behind him. That's a great combo. Yeah. And they're going to massively improve, I think. And
we'll be getting to them very, very shortly.
Yeah.
First, Tottenham Hotspur, my team. Mixed week, absolutely woeful against Man United. I can't stress that enough. It was shocking. They were shocked. To be fair, it was shocking. Right at the end of the second half, you thought they might be able to pinch something because Man United were open. And Ndombele was picking up the ball in the middle and beating a player and going forward. And if there'd been a bit of composure from the front men, Tottenham could have scored again. Dele Alli's goal against Man United was superb. That first touch. Have you not seen the goal? Have you not seen that goal?
Unfortunately,
I texted you specifically to watch that goal.
I don't have Amazon Prime. It's really irritating.
I'm gonna play. I really like Amazon Prime.
Boxing Day is going to be terrible in the Livingston household. Start watching.
You know, in the Tottenham game, who was hosting the show?
Jim Rosenthal,
it was wonderful. Yeah. It was the best. I loved it. Amazon Prime's great, by the way.
Lee Dixon was on there as well.
Ian Stone, who I did the show was with Lee Dixon on the Arsenal game. They did a bit because they're doing a new podcast together for The Athletic. And we did it was just great. You not only did have Jim Rosenthal on the Spurs game, but you could watch any game you wanted. That's the main thing. Every single game's on there. Every club. You don't have the choice of one game.
Yeah, it's very frustrating. It's going to ruin Boxing Day as well because I don't have it either. And they've got all 10 games.
I'll give you my login. It's fine. Yeah. My dad won't be watching.
Beautiful. Merry Christmas, everyone.
Oh, I might actually need it. But it's fine. If we can use it on more than one, you borrow my login. Anyway, back to Tottenham. Dele Alli's goal was fantastic. And then the 5-0 win was great. It was superb. Sissoko scored twice in 3 games. Where does that come from?
It's like buses.
The chant has come. He scores when he wants now at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Son Heung-min scored 1 goal this season. In saying that, Bernie Pleasure kicked him. I
agree.
Take the yellow card.
Why did he jump over him and go?
That was in the box.
Yeah, well, I don't care. Just take him out.
Well, they had 85 yards to trip him up.
There was someone. I'm not sure if it was Brady. It might have been Robbie Brady. Just take him out. Just take him out.
We're not saying like injure him. We're just saying trip him up.
Yeah.
Pull his shirt. Just a yellow card.
Yeah.
Take a yellow card.
Yeah.
Take the yellow. It's like one of the oldest tricks in the book in football. But he just ran straight
very
through
well
the middle,
isn't he?
Yes, he is.
Scored abuse as well.
Kane scored 2 good goals. Sissoko scored. A player who did score Saturday, who I'm not convinced of, is Lucas Moura. Tottenham hero for the semi-final against Ajax. However, against Man United, it showed all of his flaws in regards to he's got a bit of pace. He can't beat a man. He doesn't really offer a lot.
He's not an intelligent footballer, is he? He's just a speed master in a sense.
He's speed, and the thing that he's got is he's got desire. So he wins headers when he shouldn't, and he'll get on the end of things. But in terms of getting the ball into his feet when he's got 1-on-1, he was getting tackled by Ashley Young, for Christ's sake. Ashley Young's lost his pace. Ashley Young's 32.
Yeah.
You should be able to get past Ashley Young at least once or twice. And every time he did get to the byline, his final ball was awful.
He's one of those who will have a great game 1 out of 4.
He's not
consistent.
Off the bench, he'd be a very good option off the bench. I would be looking for a right winger. I think I like Eric Lamela. However, do I think he's a winger? No. For Spurs, Gareth Bale's been linked. He said he's open to it. I would love that. However, there are other players that we could get. I'd like to see Spurs buy a right winger.
Yeah, I think you need an out-and-out winger.
Yeah, we've got Son cutting in off the left.
Yeah, Son's like an inside forward in a sense, isn't he?
A winger would be good, like a Daniel James. but better. Again, Daniel James is similar in a way.
He's just
he
on
doesn't
pace.
really beat
He's got
someone.
no real quality in a sense.
Yeah, his passing's not great.
No.
I just want a more complete winger. That's what I want for Spurs. I want centre back, holding midfielder. I'd love Scott McTominay. The way he played against Tottenham convinced me. I thought he was great. Just looked calm, good on the ball, can actually go forward. Scott McTominay is what Eric Dyer was 4 years ago.
Fair play to Dyer. He's getting better by the week, so don't discount him.
I'm not discounting him, but played next to Sissoko, which was good. Sissoko, loving him again, back. Fantastic. Harry Winks is on the bench, or he was injured for Burnley, but he's the player who's missing out at the moment. Moving quickly on, because I know we've been here a while, on to Watford, who it's not a great week. So, under their caretaker manager, Hayden Mullins, for both games, they lost 2-0 away at Leicester. Dodgy VAR call, but Leicester are just better.
They're going to win that, yeah.
And then a drab 0-0 with Palace, with Nigel Pearson, the new confirmed manager to the end of the season contract, no further, watching from the stands. Like you said, Nigel Pearson and Craig Shakespeare, very good combination.
Yeah.
Pearson didn't do well at Derby, didn't do well at the second division Belgian side he went to afterwards. The problem with Pearson is he's not going to be popular, because he's not popular. When he got who was it, the player by the throat at Palace or wherever it was.
I'm not sure.
McCarthy, wasn't it? It was McCarthy. Got McCarthy by the throat back as Leicester manager. He does weird press conferences. He falls out with owners. There's a risk with Nigel Pearson that he could be there a month and it could all go tits up.
I think the bonus is he's got Shakespeare behind him, who's actually quite good. And that's a massive plus. When I heard that today, I went, ooh, I now think, do you know what? They've got half a chance.
Well, they've still got a good side, and maybe it's someone like Pearson who's got
just
a bit
need to get organised.
Well, it's attitudes as well.
Oh, agreed. And I actually remember going to Arsenal. I think it was probably a couple of games after he took over at Leicester. Sorry. And the
he
way
took over.
Oh no, I think when it was kind of the second season where he's just about to get sacked.
No, he got sacked in the first season.
But no, when he was in charge, for 100% in charge.
Yeah, so in their first season back in the Premier League.
Yeah, and they were absolutely fantastic. And you went, oh my God. And obviously they carried on the season after they won the league. Basically the same players. And there was just something about it, made me go, Christ, they're organised, look great going forward. Yeah. They had I think they had a target man up front at that point.
They had, who was it?
They had someone, Kramerich or something.
No.
He played brilliantly.
I can see the guy in my head, but I can't remember his name. He's played for Brighton.
Something like that. And they were brilliant, and that could be Deeney. And then you got players running off of them, and you go, absolutely, really good size.
I saw them as well that season at Old White Hart Lane, 5-3, and Vardy scored, and it was when Vardy started. The second half of that season, he started to come up.
Their entire side got better, and you went, wow.
And then they went on to win the league next season. That's the thing you could do. Because of attitude problems, and I've spoken to Watford fans, and they've said, no, we're going to stay down. I said, why? He kept Leicester up. He goes, yeah, but the Watford players and then use some very bad language about their attitudes. If Pearson's the right man to come in and take him by the scruff of the neck and say, it's not literally like he did with McCarthy, but and say, right, sort yourself out, you're out.
Yeah, agreed.
That might be what they need. And Watford have got some good players. So
I think an English coach is probably the better line to go down now.
Right now,
Too many foreigners who just haven't.
I still would have gone for Allardyce.
Agreed.
If you can't get Allardyce, Pearson's a
decent enough shout. You didn't want it either.
On to West Ham United. How was their week? I think they lost both times, didn't they? Lost against Wolves 2-0, and they're playing right now against Arsenal. They lost to Wolves on Wednesday. Just a West Ham performance. They're a point and 2 places above the relegation zone. It's not going well. They're in 14th, but they're 2 points. What's the score?
Tonight.
We'll find out.
But yeah.
Well, actually, they've gone up. So I think they might be winning.
Tell me that.
I think it's 1-1 at the moment.
But yeah, just West Ham all over the show at the moment. Again, do you pull the trigger?
It's 1-0 West Ham at the moment.
For God's sake.
Just let you know. So they're having a better week right now.
Who scored?
Ogbonna.
Oh God, pretty crappy corner. So yeah, they are so inconsistent, West Ham, and I would personally think about changing it. But what do? They'll win 3-0 tonight. It'll be embarrassing. They played well against Chelsea, and then they'll absolutely bomb against someone else, and then they'll beat Arsenal tonight. And this is what West Ham do, and
they should be fine.
Yeah, they'll be fine.
They should be fine, but then again, this Premier League season's been weird. Yeah. So if they went down, it wouldn't even surprise me.
No.
They fell off a cliff and went. Wolves, relatively
Wolves
decent
been
week.
fantastic
Wolves
this
are
week,
Wolves are good. Wolves are very good. Their draw yesterday, they won't be very happy with.
They should have
2-2.
won. They should have won yesterday.
They should have won yesterday, but it was 2-2. They did win the first game in the week 2-0 against West Ham. We were just talking about at Molineux. They're having a good season. Adama Traore, since he's grown his hair, he's just become a great player.
He's just a unit, isn't he?
He's like George Elokobi with pace.
Yeah, but he had like dreads in yesterday.
Yeah, it's great.
He looked wonderful.
Superb. He looks like he backs himself, doesn't he? He just looks fantastic.
Even Jota played brilliantly yesterday. It's absolutely wonderful.
They're sixth in the league. They're joint on points with fifth Man United. They are 5 points behind Chelsea in fourth. They're doing very, very well.
Really poorly as well. You look at them now and go, Christ, if they would have won sort of 2 or 3 games early doors, they would have been right up there.
Yeah, they would have. Doing very well. Right, that's it. It was a bit of a convoluted one today. Be back more to normal on Thursday, where we will preview this weekend's Premier League games. Thank you for bearing with us. Hope you learned something. If you agree, if you disagree, leave a comment. Please like and subscribe to the channel. That was Pub Football. There's one thing left to say with my Siren Yulu session ale, which is lovely. Pale ale, session pale ale. And that's cheers.
Come on, Arthur.